And if I say that I have everything in control, then those are just big lies. I'm always asked, oh, you have done so much of social work. You must be all set for the future. But honestly, I'm still trying to discover the depth of the ocean.
We have been seeing news headlines all across social media and Google about youth empowerment. Do you think this term youth empowerment has been misinterpreted in today's era?
If I specifically talk about India and the government college sector, the government college is expanding.
So, hi everyone, I'm Darsh Prakash and I welcome you all to the show. So, today I'll be serving as the host, and we've got an extremely talented person with us, and her name is Vidhi. So, Vidhi is a great deal student who has a strong desire to learn, explore, and grow in various fields. And she is currently engaged in discovering passion by gaining hands-on experience across different areas. With a commitment to continuous learning, Vidhi seeks opportunities to broaden her knowledge and enhance her skills and also make meaningful contributions. Her curiosity and drive motivate her to explore diverse interests, helping her build a well-rounded perspective and prepare for future professional endeavors. Lily, I hope you're doing great and welcome to the show.
Hi, Darsh, I'm doing great.
Right, that's great to hear. So I guess let's just straight away jump on to the questions if you're okay with that.
Sure.
Right. So I guess let's start with the basic introduction. So today, like we both are in grade 12 and we are just engaged with the preparation for our board examinations. So how's life treating you recently?
So, hi, I'm Vidhi, and currently I'm in 12th pursuing my education from Varanasi. And if I say that I have everything in control, then those are just big lies. I'm always asked, oh, you have done so much of social work. You must be all set for the future. But honestly, I'm still trying to discover the depth of the ocean with my bare hands. And as per my boards, I am currently trying to figure my academics and my extracurriculars together.
Right. Same here. Actually, I can relate a lot with what you just said right now. So, I guess we had an interaction before this podcast, and I got to know that you are also interested in youth empowerment, like me. So, I just want to ask you that we have been seeing news headlines all across social media and Google about youth empowerment.
Mhm.
Do you think this term youth empowerment has been misinterpreted in today's era?
Honestly, yes. When I personally talk about youth empowerment, I just don't mean that people should start working at a very young age, sacrifice their academics for just minor few months of experience. Being a student myself, I was in the same dilemma back in class 11, just 1 year prior to this. And when I use the term youth empowerment, I mean developing your skills alongside your academics and working on your self growth. We are not just corporate workers that we can work 12, 13 hours a day. We are just young minds trying to figure ourselves, our future out.
Very well. I deeply agree with what you just said. Right. So we both are approaching our college life now. The next year we'll be applying for university.
Mhm,
And we have been like all the youth, the Gen Zs especially, have been working on developing skills, be it related to content writing,
mhm.
podcasting. We are shooting a podcast right now. We have been doing various things. So, how do you think that skill building, short term skill building, can actually help this generation, and how is it useful in the upcoming years?
Let's take a scenario. Like you have passed class 12 with flying colors, good grades, but when you step into this fast changing world, you see people changing jobs, getting big fat paychecks just based on their skills. And with this, I don't mean ki just sacrifice your academic life in your school. No, that's just not possible because then it will ruin our chances to get into good universities through our merits. But we are in this century where AI is just taken half a dozen jobs. And the jobs which will remain are just the ones with skills. And I just don't mean the skills of just having the basic work done, qualified, highly skilled. And to be ahead and have a better kickstart for your future, you need to develop skills. It just doesn't mean ki you will start after school, after your 12th. because you just have 2 months where you have to prepare for your CUET and where you have to prepare for your college applications if you are going abroad. And when I talk about abroad, it does ask for your social skills. It does ask what you have done for the society, and that is where skills come in play. Skills are just the golden ticket for your career. And I repeat it, skills are the golden ticket because the books, they won't do enough. Right now, it's the skills.
Agreed. As you said that skills are the golden ticket for everybody's career. Do you think that the universities or the colleges that are still following the curriculum being set in the 1950s or 1960s, can they actually catch up with all these modern era private universities that are actually springing up in different parts of the globe and especially in India?
If I specifically talk about India and the government college sector, the government college is expanding. And if I talk about professors, they have their own YouTube channels where they tell about their own courses which they teach in the college. And if I talk about students, if college curriculum is not growing, students are. They have created college societies. They are representing India on a global level through their college. And this shows that education system is rapidly growing. It's just that we have not officially stated that, oh, education system to change ho gaya. No, it has not changed. The students have. And students, when they change, education system will ultimately change. So when I say ki government colleges don't promote skills, yes, they do. CBSE has courses like graphic designing or video editing, but there are zero students doing it. So how will they get into universities with those skills? So universities do require skills and placement offices, obviously they will ask for your skill, not just your 90% certificate.
I agree to what you said in the previous answer because as you said that CBSE has these courses about graphic designing and artificial intelligence, what the Gen Zs especially need to understand, why I'm stressing on Gen Zs particularly when I'm stating anything, is because the generation of Gen Zs has set such high standards for themselves that if they find anything below their expectation level, so they just simply ignore it and they move forward. What they need to understand is, like including both of us, that everything
Mhm.
does not come easy. If you are getting an opportunity, even at a very basic or a grassroots level, so you need to just grab it with both your hands and just ensure that you get the best possible experience out of it. And I very much agree that it's high time that the students should start focusing on skills and they actually rather than just focusing on the bookish knowledge, especially on just memorizing things for the sake of spelling it out during the board examinations or during the PTs.
Mhm.
It's important that they also focus on practical skills such as skill building. So I guess that's very important in today's generation. And this brings me to another important topic. Like we are talking about skill building, we're talking about societal expectations. So this societal expectation has led to the creation of another very drastic and a very negative term, according to my analysis, and that's called peer pressure. So, peer pressure is something that's quite prevalent in the Indian society today because the students are just constantly compared that, okay, your friend is doing this, so why can't you do a particular thing? So, do you think that this syndrome of peer pressure has impacted the society in a deadlier way than we expected a few years back?
So, peer pressure is something which I have experienced, which you have experienced, or any other person working in education or taking their education have experienced. Even a class fifth student who is just 10 years old will experience the same. But I often see that we don't fear peer pressure or what other person is doing. We fear standing alone. We fear that why we are not in a crowd and why there is no one leading us or why there is no one mentoring us. And that is just human psychology that humans are social beings, they want to be in crowd. However, in last 5 to 6 years, I have noticed due to the impact of social media and so much exposure to every other content, peer pressure is a term which is just highly overrated now. And peer pressure, if I clearly stated, is just the competition. And if we take peer pressure very healthy, you will succeed. because you will think that, oh, I need to learn this. I need to put my attention to this because I can't just leave or lag it behind because of my friends. And right now, we are in just self pressure or the family pressure that's driving students to follow the crowd and not be the change maker. It's just cutting the creativity and erasing the self identity because we are just following the crowd. If my friend is doing something, I want to do that. I don't want to look what I can do or what skills do I have or what interests do I have. And to overcome this, I just have few tips which I prepared. So it's putting ourselves first. When it comes to your future and life choices, be the first one to choose, not be the second or the third person. Be the change maker, break the cycle. If everyone in your family has taken commerce, dare to take science, dare to take humanities, or dare to do a business if you have families of corporate workers. Or keep asking yourself question, what do you want to do? What are you doing and what will you be doing? Because that will have you thinking that, oh, this is what I have to do and this is not what I have to not do. So it will clearly take us away from the peer pressure and towards self growth.
Yeah, that's exactly what we all are trying to do, especially the people who are involved in NGOs or who are involved in social rights. Because peer pressure is something that has impacted the society in a very negative way. I've got my bunch of friends who are actually affected due to peer pressure in the worst scenario possible. And I've seen them falling quite deadly, in quite a deadly way because their academic grades dipped, their friendships actually vanished like anything, and they weren't able to concentrate on anything fully. They were like in a cocoon for themselves. They just made a cocoon in which they were just alone, aloof from the entire public, and they weren't able to do anything. Like they also stopped following their hobbies. I guess that's
If
something that
I
needs.
add to a negative peer pressure, then it just makes you fight with your friends because you think that, oh, they are my competition instead of thinking, oh, they are my friends, they can help me. And they will just take you away from your family because you will be buried in books and buried in things what others are doing so that you can do the same. And that is the reason why we have such great suicidal rates right now. Because first they follow their friends and then they know the reality. कि, oh, this is not my interest. अब क्या करें हम? And then they have no going back. And even if they do, it's the society berating them. कि, oh, तुमसे हुआ ही नहीं. So
Agreed.
that
Like
is what students are facing.
the problem with how students are being impacted from this peer pressure is that people choose career, yes, on the basis of friendship, that okay, my friend is going in XYZ stream, so let me also be with him or her. Another thing that I have observed from the cases and analysis that I have observed in Google Chrome is that the students opt for careers on the basis of the salaries that they get. The highest paying careers, it means that, okay, this is made for me. I need to earn money. It's good that you're earning money. It's good that you're having a mindset to earn money. But the fact of the matter is that earning money is not everything, especially in this phase of life. This phase of life is about enjoying, it's about making friends, it's about making connections, it's about networking. But I don't know why nowadays we all are just inclined towards making money. That okay, that stage would come in our early 20s when we would have graduated and we would be looking for employment opportunities, or we would be going abroad,
Mhm.
staying in India for our post graduation. So that's what we need to, I guess we need to change this mindset. If we would be just focusing on making money and trying to show the other person that okay, he or she hasn't done anything, I think that this syndrome of peer pressure would just be attached to a society in such a way that it would not have any cure, or it won't be able to, we won't be able to remove it from our Indian society.
I believe that money can't buy you peace. It
Exactly.
can't buy you happiness. Even the richest people, they are just in tension of losing their money on all that lawsuits which they face. So I think that instead of moving for money, we should move for peace. Because once you have peace, even if you earn 2 rupees less, 5 rupees less than your friend, then you are happy at least. At least you are enjoying life. And you are just not buried into those piles. Ki, I have to complete this deadline. Oh, I lose my job. Oh, I have to do this. You have no time, and in no time you will cross your 30s and you will think that I did nothing in my life.
Agreed. Like, I guess I've seen my colleagues in either debates, MUs, or other competitions holding this book with the goggles on their face and just reading this book titled The Psychology of Money. The crux of the story is
Mhm.
that they did not understand anything what was written in the book. That's a different case altogether. But it was just like, okay, they were trying to be fitting in this new role that okay, I'm reading these self-help books. But okay, you need brain to understand self-help books because it's made to make you realize that okay, these are the mistakes that you're committing and you need to improve upon it. But the fact of the matter is they just read books for the sake of collecting them or just showing the others that okay, I have got this much brain and you haven't got anything. I guess this needs to
Uh, as you have commented upon the book Psychology of Money, there is this story about a businessman where he goes to casino and loses all his money.
exactly.
I think that it is for us that we just go to the places which we don't know and we lose everything and then we blame others for it. And
Agree.
it's just not our fault. This is the problem of our generation, as you said, Gen Z, that we tend to blame everyone apart from our own self. Okay, it was my mistake. It was me who did it wrong. No, it could be a teacher, it could be a friend, it could be anyone, but not us. It could be anyone, but not us.
Exactly. Like everybody wants to be just freaking millionaires or billionaires. They are not actually focusing on the path that they need to take to be rich or successful in life. Like, anyways, like we can
Agreed.
just go on and on about this, but the crux of the story is that this needs to change. The term peer pressure has to be removed so that we can move forward.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay,
Exactly.
so we have been discussing about this peer pressure, youth empowerment, and many more topics throughout this podcast. Is there any message, a specific message that you would like to give to the audience of the show regarding how they should approach life, or any life tips that you have learned till now that, okay, this is how you need to proceed further and make sure that you choose your friends wisely, or anything that you want to just comment about it?
Sure. So, all my fellow mates who are watching me right now, just not prioritize everything and anything, but be on self growth and self care journey. Start working on small projects like, oh, I want to be an expert in SEO. What you're working for it? What you have done in past week? Or, oh, I'll start learning graphic designing. Where did you start? When did you start? So start small, dream big. It's never too late to start, but it's always that we have to dream big. We have to have a big, huge project so that everyone can see, oh, look, he has a big project. But when someone launches a big project, no one sees that amount of small projects, amount of effort someone has put into. So I'll say that start working on small projects. Start small, you will have a lot big future ahead of you.
I definitely agree to what you just said right now. And like again, as you said, that we need to make small targets. We need to try and just work upon them. We need to gain experience, and then we should actually focus on achieving long-term targets. I mean, if you can't achieve shorter-term targets, that means that you need to change your path or you need to rethink about, okay, this is what I have done here wrong or right, and this is how I can either improve upon it or I can work forward so that it reaps me benefits in the later part of
We can know the cycle of procrastination we have. Because on big projects, we tend to procrastinate. But in
that.
small projects, we will clearly know where we are procrastinating. So that is what small projects benefit of.
Actually, I was just watching one TED talk about procrastination. I was quite taken aback by the views of the speaker because it was quite relatable for me as a part of this generation. Because personally, if I'll also start a task, this used to happen earlier, but now like I have taken control and now I just try to complete my tasks in one go. I used to procrastinate a lot because I just used to feel that okay, let me wait, let me just postpone the work, let me just enjoy. This was when I was some 13, 14 years old during the ending stage of the lockdown in 2022 or 2023. At that point of time, I don't know, there was something that just struck my mind, that struck the chord, and it just told me that, okay, bro, you need to focus on what you're doing. You can't linger on everything for the future. You need to focus on, okay, this is what I'm doing right now. I need to complete my task. Because if I'll just keep on lingering the things forward, it would just lead to the overcrowding of things for me. And it would actually, in turn,
Hmm.
just lead to a disruption of my personal mindset, and it would lead to extra stress for me. I guess that this needs to be done, but when you're making short-term targets, make sure that you start thinking about the long-term targets as well, so that you can achieve them in the near future.
Agreed, totally agreed. Because the COVID period has made us all lazy,
Yeah,
made us all dependent upon our phones, and it's just important that we have a view. What are we actually doing? What are we procrastinating into? Because I procrastinate all over my notebook work. If you open my notebooks, you will find that it's all empty. So I think that that is what we have to work on.
agreed. So I guess now we're done with all the conversations. Anything else that you would like to add before we end the podcast?
Sure. I'll just talk about a little about my personal journey. So, when I was in the age of 14 to 18, and I am 18 right now, and when I was 14, Vidhi would faint. The past Vidhi would faint hearing what this Vidhi has done. So, I had no mentors or guiders to tell me कि oh तुमको यहाँ जाना है तुमको ये करना है. So it was naive Vidhi choosing for herself. And just one piece of advice to everyone listening: please don't take decisions without thinking. Think it out. Ask anyone close to you. Ask yourself: is this what I want to do, or is this what society wants me to? Because then you will be overburdened and pressured. So that is one piece of advice which I have from my personal journey. That is it.
Actually, that story is relatable for all the listeners today, because the fact of the matter is that we try to get into stuff that we haven't done. And if I talk about my journey as well, I started doing debates in MBNs when I was like some 12, 13 years old. I was in grade 7th or 8th. And I did not have any mentors. Like, I just learned this art of public speaking, and it has helped me a lot. I mean, I used to be very shy when I was in grade 4 or 5, and then I suddenly there was a certain spark or change in my personality that I started speaking quite freely or on these platforms, on national level and international level platforms. I guess that what I have done is that I haven't thought much. That's contrary to what you said, that okay, you need to think. That's absolutely right. That you need to actually make sure that you're taking the right step. But I don't know why I took the opposite way that has been less explored by the audience there, that I did not think much before I took a step. I was like, okay, let me just try it out. If it works, that's completely fine with me. If it does not work, I'll come back. I'll do something good, try out something new, and I'll again just pursue what I want to. I guess that worked in my favor. But I'm not encouraging anybody to take that way too seriously, because it has a lot of risk. There's no predictable.
Actually, what I mean that you should think it out is take this, try it out. It's just not that you are just following people, or it's just not that, oh, you saw a LinkedIn post. He has done influence. Oh, he has done social network debates. So wait, I'll also do the same. But that is what I mean. Because I did the same and I suffered the consequences badly because I was trying to juggle a lot of things. So taking risk is okay, but try it out first. Think about it, that if you actually want to do it. Because you stepped into it because you wanted to do it, explore it, and not just because your friend was doing it.
The thing is that here the consequences of extrinsic motivation comes into play. That okay, I saw this random person who was on LinkedIn or on Instagram or on Twitter, and he or she is doing all these random stuff. He or she is visiting youth parliaments. You're not even familiar to okay, what the heck is a youth parliament all about? So I'm like, okay, you need to first research about it. If you think that okay, youth parliament is
Exactly.
interesting, go for it, take a chance. Don't overthink about it. But if you're like, no, this is not my type, so just step back. Don't even think of going there, because if you have lost interest in a particular thing, you can't. I'm actually quoting this line that you cannot do anything if you do not have an interest in that particular thing, because
Totally agree. It's
you
just like taking a stream that you don't want to.
that's like opting for PCM or PCB without wanting to become an engineer or a doctor. That's simply like that.
Exactly. Social media just creates an image, a perfect image of people say, wow, they have won so many prizes. And that is what makes people choose over what they want and what actually they are looking at.
Agreed. Like, yes, social media is something that has entrenched our society in such a way that it has got us addicted. Even if I'll take an example of me, I have my Instagram account, I have my LinkedIn. I'm not on Twitter or Facebook, but I have got into this habit that okay, anything that I'm doing, I need to post it on Instagram. And that's a very bad habit. I'm trying to overcome it. That okay, not everything is meant for Instagram. There are certain things that I need to keep private. Or there are certain aspirations that I need to keep private because I can't actually disclose everything in the public because they'll start making these random memes about what I'm trying to do or what my aspirations are. So it's like you need to keep certain things private till the time you achieve or become something. That's what my goal about it is.
Agreed. Totally agreed. That you need to keep your private life private, social life social, because if you mix those, you will face mental health issues, and that is proved, that is tested by a lot of people.
Yeah, the clinical psychologists are working on it. And all these, I nowadays, I don't know, my Instagram feed has just gone into that, okay, psychologists have suggested that these many percentage of people remain happy or remain sad. I'm like, okay, why are you showing me all these things?
As a psychology student, I can assure you that those half of those graphs are just fake. Like they just say that if you are in a relationship, then a boy will treat you like a princess. Oh, why will he treat? Is he a king? Why will he treat that? And
And
which psychologist has conveyed it to you?
until that boy is a Sigma male. That's a clause that they always forget to
That
say.
term, that term, sigma male. Great. Now we have a lot of things related to it. Let's just not step into it.
Yeah, no, let's not go into that Sigma male because we'll take a completely different trajectory in that case. But yeah, as a psychology student, what I feel is that a number of things quoted on Instagram or even on TOI and Hindustan Times, they are like, okay, just meant for pleasing the people or just for showing false beliefs. I'm like, okay,
It's just to increase their clicks. It's just there to increase their, the TRP which they want. And if you actually want some genuine sources, then go for the professors or the research students who publish prepare reports. Then you will get the reports which you actually want, the actual proof of it. Even the subjects, get to know that what subjects did they choose. Just not go to a one article and type on chat GPT, tell me some psychological facts, and then half of it is just bullshit that, oh, that is what it is. And then you speak in front of 10 people, they believe you. That is just not how psychology works. It has way deeper meaning.
like right now, when I'm studying about the psychology in grade 12th, I'm like, okay, it's so damn interesting. There are these disorders. It's like how you get to know the symptoms about the disorders, basically, how you can cure the disorders. And I'm just busy in making my project file and all that stuff. So I'm like, okay, psychology is damn interesting, but the social media has converted this interesting subject into something like that. Okay, it's more of a demon than an angel. It's like it's
Yes, you are right. But when I actually started reading psychology for class 12, I had this feeling that I have every other disorder in the book. And that is what how every person feels like. But when you go on Instagram and then you see, they describe it like you have done what God knows what with that disorder, even if you have none. Because no one is perfect. According to psychology, no one is 100% normal. Even God is not, because that is what psychology says, that everyone has to have some psychological issue, disorder, not on a severe level, but on a mild level. Everyone has OCD on a mild level. No one can see a टेढ़ा कटा हुआ page, और no one can see their बाजू की पूरी गीली हो जाए और उससे उसको कोई इशू ना हो. तो that is what OCD is. It's not this that कि अरे 50 बार लिखेंगे एक लाइन में तब वो ओसीडी होगा, 10 बार हाथ धोएंगे तब वो ओसीडी होगा. It's just that we have seen it, we have recalled it, and that is what our brain catches.
like again, everybody have a mild amount of stress in their brain about anything, be it their office, be it their friends, be it about their relationship. That, oh, I hope I did not offend my girlfriend or boyfriend. Are they good?
Even class 2 students has stress कि, oh, I have not completed my EVS syllabus, I have a class test coming up, what should I do? So
Exactly.
stress is normal, but
Exactly.
Instagram has over exaggerated it कि If you have stress, then you are not doing good. If you don't have stress, then how will you work without stress? What are you working on if you don't have stress? Even biggest millionaires, Mukesh Ambani will also have stress of how to increase his empire.
Agreed. Like it's just like that famous Hindi saying, "पीछे कुआं आगे खाई कहाँ जाना है." It's just the same thing. That if you're having stress, you're in a spot of bother. If you're not having stress, that's a even greater problem. That okay, why and how are you not having stress?
Then that creates a stress that why you are not having stress. That's just like you were studying for exam and then you don't know why are like you have no stress about your exam. You're bothered that why are you not stressed about your exam instead of studying. So that's just two same stories with different names.
Agreed. Like I remember the last year I was doing this SAS practical. I guess we all have been doing the psychology students know about it. For those who don't know the SAS
Exactly.
practical, it's just like a normal psychological test. A psychological test is basically something that how you get to know about a person's mental behavior and characteristics in simple layman language. So I was doing this SAS practical test, or I don't know. I guess yes, it was the SAS one only. And my senior, who was appearing for her board practical at that point of time, so she was doing my scoring about the answers that I had written. And it was like, I'm having almost no stress, that my score about stress was really low. And she was like, bro, how are you not having stress? I'm like, that's good, I'm not having stress. So my seniors were shocked that, okay, you need to have stress for your life.
When I did that test, I was having severe level of stress. And when I look at myself, I'm like, I stress about something. I don't stress. I don't even have stress कि वो सुबह जाके मुझे माइक पे बोलना है, क्या बोलना है ये भी नहीं सोचना है. सुबह उठ के ये सोचती हूँ मैं और जाके बोल देती हूँ. अब मुझे स्ट्रेस नहीं है इस बात का. I don't have stress about it. Stress is completely different from anxiety. People correlate it. Anxiety is what you face when you need to speak in front of mic. I get that every time when I go in front of mic, but I don't stress about it. कि कल माइक पे बोलना है, वो माइक पे ही मुझे खाना चाहिए.
Well, Mike will stand there. Obviously, it does not have those canine teeth that will tear you apart. That's like just okay. Like I guess that's a normal anxiety that's present in everybody because like we just fear that
Mhm.
okay, what will happen if we just misspell a word or if
Exactly.
it's a normal human tendency. Even if we fumble, that's completely fine. Even the greatest of speakers like Shashi Tharoor, he also fumbles in between, but he does not lose his confidence, and that's why he is regarded as one of the
Exactly.
best speakers.
Even just hear one of the TED talks, you will see the speaker is fumbling sometimes. It's just not they just pause and stand there and they are paralyzed कि हाँ I fumbled. मैंने एक बार में सब नहीं बोला. अरे रटना नहीं है. You understand the content, you speak, and the audience will cheer for you.
Actually, why we fumble is this is what I feel that we fumble at times because we have so many thoughts going on in our mind that okay, let me also add this or that thing while I'm speaking. It's not like you fumble because you are not good or you have forgotten anything. You fumble because you have got so many ideas and opinions in your mind that you do not know that okay, how should I express it? So that's why we just fumble, and it's completely fine. Like we need not be afraid about it.
Fumbling is not something that you should sentence yourself to death. Oh, you fumbled, now it's all gone. People will forget in 2 minutes that you fumbled. They will
Exactly.
just see that oh ये बोल रहा है. They won't see कि you are fumbling कि तुमने बोल दिया कि हो तुमने अपना नाम गलत बोल दिया. No one will notice that. As an introduction in class 6, I mentioned my favorite subject as my name and my name as my favorite subject. Imagine saying yet my name is history and my favorite subject is Vidhi. The anxiety, the stress which I had at that point of time was unimaginable.
Okay, I
But
guess now
people forgot.
now let's come back to the point because the audience would feel that okay, why are we
Exactly.
stuck between both these two maniacs who are just discussing about psychology? Okay, right. So coming back to where we were like ending the podcast and then we just got into all these psychological facts and all.
Mhm.
Anyways, right. So thank you so much, Vidhi, for joining the podcast. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you to the audience who spared out their precious time and had a chat, like who listened to us. And I hope you all enjoyed the podcast as well. Stay tuned for more exciting podcasts and see you all in the next show. Thank you so much.
ये जो देश है तेरा